everybody, it's Femtrooper, and today I'm going to be talking about 10 games that are perfect for summertime. Summer is finally here, and I want to highlight 10 games that make me think of summer, remind me of summer, and honestly have summer vibes. And they're just really, really good games, so let's just dive in. Of course, before we get into it, if you're not subscribed, please make sure to subscribe to the channel, click like, and tell me what games remind you of the summer. The first game I want to talk about is a game I recently beat that came out this year, and I loved it. And that's Like a Dragon, Infinite Wealth. This game is fantastic. It's amazing, and it is probably one of the best games ever to represent summertime because it's in Hawaii. Majority of the game takes place in Honolulu, and it's fantastic. It's one of the best Yakuza Like a Dragon series games. It has both Kiryu and Ichiban as playable characters. It is a phenomenal time. It's my favorite in the Ichiban series and probably my favorite Like a Dragon Yakuza game ever at this point now because it is just so well done. These games get character development like perfectly. Like it's the best. It's one of the best you'll ever see in a video game. I know sometimes you can play video games and things are just, they're good, they're okay. This is not that. This is like top quality. It's like a movie. It is outstanding. So I really, really recommend Infinite Wealth to anybody, but you do have to play the first one, which is Yakuza Like a Dragon. So yes, this is a sequel, but it's really awesome and it's just so fun. Everyone's wearing like Hawaiian shirts, flip-flops, it's hot weather, you know, there's beach vibes. It is really, really perfect to play this game now. The next game I'll recommend is also in the same series. It is a Yakuza game and it takes place in Okinawa, and that is Yakuza 3. So I have the remastered edition on the PS4, and yeah, it's kind of a black sheep of the series, and it doesn't seem to be a lot of people's favorite, but I have to say, I recently just beat it last year, and it's really, really good. Yes, it's not my favorite one, but that doesn't mean that it's not really good. I definitely recommend it. Yeah, you have to play the other ones first, but if you're on the fence or you're like, should I skip it? No, don't skip it. Definitely go for it. It's really cool. Kiryu is running an orphanage in Okinawa. I mean, it's very different. It's very different, has a completely different setting. You're not just running around Kamurocho anymore. You are in Okinawa. Sometimes you go back and forth, but a big chunk of the game is in Okinawa, and it's just as jaw-dropping, just as exciting, and just as crazy as all the other games. Just the gameplay can be a little bit more rough if you're used to the brand new games like Yakuza 0 or Kiwami 1 and 2 where they completely rebuilt them. This is more just a remaster. So yeah, sure, sometimes it's a little janky, but that doesn't matter. It's an excellent game with an excellent story, and I like seeing series change things up a little bit so we get something different. So yeah, definitely check out Yakuza 3. I'm going to talk about kind of a 2-for-1 here, and that is Final Fantasy X and X-2. I don't usually talk about Final Fantasy X because my whole thing is I only talk about games that I've beat and completed, and I have not actually beat Final Fantasy X. I know that's terrible. I got really close to the end and it got kind of hard and I ended up dropping it. So one day I would like to go back and maybe try and fix that. But I have beat X-2 and I really enjoyed that game. But both games are set in Spira and there's this incredible like beachy vibe. It has a very Southeast Asian influence, and it's really, really cool. Like the whole world is incredibly beautiful and it's hot weather. It's definitely got that tropical thing going on, and there's blitzball. I mean, it's just very summery. It's very summery, and I have to say Final Fantasy X is incredible. I love the battle system. Yes, it was kind of linear in the sense that there wasn't an open world, but I thought it was great. I loved exploring everything that you could, and it's a really cool game with great characters. It's a fun story, it's engaging, and it's just a solid time. Now, X-2, I have to say, kind of silly, kind of goofy, and in the best way. It's a great sequel, and yeah, it's an all-female party, but they're all great, and the dress sphere thing is really fun, great battle systems, so definitely check out both. And yeah, you're supposed to beat Final Fantasy X before you play X-2, but I was so close to the end, I kind of skipped ahead. I know that's sort of bad, but either way, I do recommend both games to everybody. They're amazing. Now, for my weeb recommendation, I will go with Blue Reflection Second Light. another sequel, but a really good one that's better than the original. And the whole game takes place kind of on an island. The girls who don't know where they are, they just appear on the school. They're like high school students, and they appear on the school that's kind of like trapped, surrounded by water, like sort of on an island, and they're like, where are we? Who am I? Lots of questions going on, but this game improves on everything from the first one. The dungeons are actually really interesting, and I enjoyed getting to each new one to actually go through one, which is sometimes rare for me. I really liked it. It's one of the coziest JRPGs you will ever play, but it's like really, really interesting and cool. It's not just super lighthearted. It's actually kind of dark. So it's not, I know sometimes cozy games can be a turnoff to someone, but this is not. I'm someone who likes this, and I don't generally like cozy stuff, so I highly recommend it. It's the magical girl thing, so it's like really fun. There's transformation scenes, there's there's water, there's sand. I mean, it's very summery. I mean, you can wear bathing suits and walk around. Yeah, it's a little fan servicey, but if you get past that, it's a really good time. And it's got great character development. It has a Persona vibe where you can, get to know and have relationships with all the other students. It is really, really cool. I feel like it doesn't get talked about that much. Sometimes I'll see it, but, definitely give this a shot. Please play the first one first, though. It will help make things make a little bit more sense, and everything comes together in a more fun way if you've played the first one, but definitely give it a shot. I really, really like this series. Here's another recent one. Again, came out this year. One of my favorite games to come out this year, and that is Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. I mean, this is a really, really good game, and yes, it has a summer town, but the whole game kind of gave me summery vibes because it's definitely set in the summertime. There's no snow or anything yet, so it was really, really fun to play it, but I mean, come on, you go to Costa del Sol, that's like a beach resort town, Cloud in a bathing suit. I mean, come on. This definitely gives off summer vibes, and I really enjoyed it. It was definitely fun. Like a Dragon Infinite Wealth, great character development, excellent story. You have to play the first one. I know, I'm naming a bunch of sequels, and that's usually not my thing, but that's the way it went today. But Final Fantasy VII Rebirth is really good. Yes, there are a lot of mini games that to me dragged it down from maybe a 10 out of 10 to a 9 out of 10. And I know a lot of people like those mini games. I mean, there's a lot of mini games in every different city of all sorts, like card games, target game, like anything you can think of, they put in this. And so kind of cool in that way, but that wasn't my thing. So I kind of ignored the mini games, but it's a really solid JRPG, like fantastic stuff, great, very heartwarming, definitely moments where you are going to cry, you're going to, feel things. It's really good. So definitely do not skip this, and please play Remake. Here's one that I want to highlight because it's a really cool game, and I don't think it gets talked about as much. The series kind of didn't do that well over here, but that's Yokai Watch, and this is just the original, and I don't know if they'll ever port it to the Switch or the next Nintendo console, who knows, but it's really worth playing, and it really works on the 3DS because the battle system kind of relies on you using the stylus. I know that can sound icky, but it's really, really cool. It's a neat battle system. I actually really enjoy it, and the second one, is really good too. I never actually beat it. And then the third one is now practically impossible to find. And then the fourth one, they didn't bother to release here. So sad. But the reason this reminds me of summer is it's a bunch of kids kind of collecting things. And so it gives me like the Pokemon vibe thing where it's like kids in a town out exploring. Kind of makes me think of summer vacation when you're a kid, when you're just wandering around. And in this game, they're looking for yokai, which are like, spiritual things, kind of ghosts, folklore in Japan. It's really cool and very different in that regard because it really is a cultural thing, and I think maybe North America didn't get it, I don't know, but Japan obviously did. It's a popular series there, but just walking around in town with your friends looking for yokai, and also originally looking for bugs and stuff, it just gives me like kid vibes in the summer. And so, while not necessarily a summer game, it gives me summer vibes, and it's a really, really cool game that maybe you didn't play. So definitely go and play Yokai Watch. This is not hard to find. It's worth it. Now, sticking with the 3DS, let's go with Pokemon Moon and obviously Sun, and then there's Ultra Moon and Ultra Sun as well. But they are set in the Alola region of the Pokemon universe. And what I think is really cool about that is it's basically based on Hawaii. So the whole game, you're in this tropical region, and a lot of the Pokemon from other regions are in it, but they have different versions in this game. So instead of like new Pokemon, which they have, there are these newer versions. So the Alolan region of that type of Pokemon. And I thought that was really interesting because it was like, yeah, sure, there might be that type of Pokemon in you know, the normal region like Kanto, but then it might look a little different because it's in a tropical setting. So maybe it's a different color, or it's, you know, has something else on it like a stripe or whatever. It was just really cool. I thought this game was awesome because they didn't do gyms the normal way, but it wasn't the way they do stuff now. They tried something a little different with this one. I thought the story was like top notch, because usually stories in Pokemon are just kind of iffy, but this one, no, it was actually really good. It has a completely creepy evil villain in it that is like, but like, it's not just evil, it's like creepy, and I loved that. It was like it made you go ugh, like it was just, I don't know, I loved it. I thought it was really off-putting in the best way, like super weird and strange, and I love that. And it's just a really cool Pokemon game. It's one of my favorite ones, actually. I really, really enjoyed this. So don't sleep on this one. It's definitely worth checking out. You could probably just get like the Ultra versions, I think. If you, at this point, just grab one of those. I'm tempted myself to grab one of those because I typically don't play the upgraded versions. I always just go with the original one, the vanilla version. But it's a really, really great time. And if you want that original Pokemon thing, but, you know, a little different, get these, because I know the new ones, they've changed so much. It's like, I don't even know what's happening anymore. It's not the same. This is the same, but just different enough that you're happy with the changes. So definitely give this a shot. Pokemon Moon, super summary. Now let's go with a platformer here, and that would be Donkey Kong Tropical Freeze. And so you've got these bad guys who are trying to freeze everything, but what's more summery and tropical and hot weather kind of vibes than Donkey Kong? I mean, it's all about all Donkey Kong's friends and him and bananas and in the jungle. I mean, it's perfect. It's perfect for summertime. I love the series, and I'm dying for a new one. We obviously got this on the Switch from the Wii U, because it's just a port from the Wii U, and it's still a very good, very solid title. So as much as I'm looking forward to a new one, if you somehow missed this on the Wii U and you're on the fence, definitely pick it up. It's really, really good. It's everything you want from a Donkey Kong game. I mean, I think they're solid. To me, Donkey Kong is like god tier platforming. Like, it's the best. I know Super Mario is really, really good, but there's something about Donkey Kong that's just extra special. And so if you want that summery vibe, go with a Donkey Kong game. I mean, any of them work, but this is obviously the most recent one, and a really good one too. Here's one that I played a couple years ago and ended up falling in love with, despite it having a lot of flaws. But to me, the setting is very, very summery, and, you know, there's water. It makes you feel like everything is cool and hot. I don't know. It's cool. And that is Xenoblade Chronicles 2. Kind of the one that, to me, is like the least favorite for people. And I do think the first one's a better game. I know I haven't played the third one yet. I'm getting to it. But the second one, as far as I'm concerned, is very, very much summertime. It's always hot. It's really fun in terms of like exploration. Huge map to explore. I think the characters in this game are like amazing. I really enjoyed it. That's actually what made me like the game, was the characters, even more than the story. Like, I just liked the characters. The group of them all together, they worked so well. They were fantastic. So I really enjoyed the dynamic of everybody, you know, going back and forth talking. It was just a really good time. And everything about it, like the setting is summertime. It's really, really, really summertime. It definitely gives you those June, July, August vibes. So definitely check out Xenoblade Chronicles 2 if you're on the fence. And I say that because I was on the fence for years. This came out in 2017, I believe, and I didn't play it until 2022 because I was so certain that I wouldn't like it. Something about it was weird to me, and I was like, nope, not for me. And then I gave it a chance and ended up really liking it. So who knows? If you haven't played it, give it a shot. Lastly, I'm going to go with more of a visual novel mystery puzzle game, and it is perfect in terms of summer vibes. It is a sequel though, but that is Danganronpa 2 Goodbye Despair. This is really, really solid. Like, if you like Danganronpa, it's perfect. And I'm sure, you know, you've probably played it by now, but I had to recommend it because the whole game is on a tropical island. You're in the school, but it's on an island. Kind of strange, kind of like the Blue Reflection Second Light thing, like what is this? But again, the whole thing is tropical down to the entire score. Like, I love the soundtracks to these games, and this one, they've done the whole score, they've used all the themes to the, like, from the original, but it's all done with, like, you know, like kettle drums, and it has kind of Jamaican, Caribbean kind of vibes. It's really, really good. And of course, the story is top notch. If you like these, you know, weird murder mystery games that are kind of like Battle Royale, Hunger Games, you will love this. You do have to play the first one, and I recommend playing every single Danganronpa game there is, because I just think it's a phenomenal series and is amazing in terms of story and making you want to play more. It definitely sucks you in. Like, you are so into it. So I remember when this came out, I was hooked. It is definitely one of my favorites in the series. It's really good. So don't skip out. Play Danganronpa in general, but this one in particular is pure summer because it's on an island and you're not sure why. Those are my 10 games that I recommend to play during the summer, or that just give summertime vibes. Maybe it's January and you want to feel summertime vibes, so play one of these games, because trust me, I get it. I've been looking forward to summer. It's finally here. Yay. But yeah, if you want some recommendations for summertime games, these ones I really hope you will check out. They're so much fun. They're some of my favorite games ever, so it's just a really good time. I love these games so much. Thanks again for watching, everybody. Really appreciate it. And of course, I will see you guys in the next video.